Let me see. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Ah, let me know when you can hear me. See, this is Mercury doing its last thing. This is okay. Let me hold on. All right, so okay. Now let's see. Now let's see. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Hello? Hello? Is that better? Okay, now you can hear again. Good. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. Let's start over. Let's start over. Okay. This is Mercury's last hurrah. I just want you to know that. Now, I want you to know that as we go into today, this type of stuff is going to happen. That's just the way it is. It's just going to happen. And it's like, oh my gosh. So this is Mercury's last way of saying, okay, okay, there you go. But that's okay. That's okay. Sounds great now. Thank you so much, everyone. You know, it's been a morning already, I got to tell you, but welcome here to each and every one of you coming in. Please do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already, say hello, all of those wonderful things. Now, I saw a little message here that I want to. There you go. Hello, my darling. I got your message from the product store. And I want you to know that you are supposed to be able to order shirts in different colors. And as I go on there, it is showing me that there's only one. So I am making additional colors today. There's already a blue one. I'm making additional colors today of the favorite quack. And I got your orders. So thank you so much. And this is going to be fantastic. So thank you. Thank you. I wanted to just address that before we got started because I actually wanted to email you. And so this is even better. So hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. It has been a morning already. I woke up early this morning to the thunderstorm and tornado sirens going off near my house. And I'm thinking, oh, this is great. Thank you, Mercury, right? So it calmed down and settled down. And just as I was going on air, the sirens started going off again, but we're okay. It's not, this siren is so touchy. I mean, you can go out and wave to it and it'll go off. So we're okay. We're not in any danger at all. It's just raining, which I love the rain. So all is well. And thank you very much for being here. A lot to celebrate today. We have a new week. There are some new astrological transits that are happening, not as heavy as last week, but rightfully a little heavy going into. But you've got this because you know what? A little thing like a planet transited, right? A little planet transiting. I need to just start over. No, I don't. A little planet just moving around, we're going to say it that way, is no task. It's just a little thing because you have the laws of attraction and it doesn't affect your law of attraction. It doesn't affect that quite at all. So today I want to talk to you about there is one part of the law that I really love. And hello to the Great Britain, my darling. Thank you for being here, Louise. Thank you. Welcome. There's one thing that I want to share with each and every one of you. And that is, there is a specific law, and if you look back, you can probably think about it because we're going to go into two parts today. So, same episode, two parts. So this law basically says, if one thing changes, everything around it, including circumstances, situation, and people, must change to conform or they fall away. That works for me. And it should work for you too. Because that means when you are manifesting and something seems like it's not going right, then the only time change can happen is when it changes within yourselves. That's it. You have to change the circumstance or the situation. Isn't that to me is the coolest thing. And people say, well, how do you change? How do you change? Well, first of all, saying that you change your attitude or you change this, you change this. The bottom line, the more that you are into this law of attraction and manifestation, and quite frankly, I wish there were another name other than law of attraction, but that's what everybody knows. But when you are living this, it's actually a lifestyle. And change is not something that is going to be hard for you to conform to. Sometimes it's a perception of reality, but many times it's personality. Sometimes you just have to change your personality. Do you remember? That's right, Amy, I love this. Thank you so much. It all starts and ends with us. That's right. We can't blame anybody else. You know, I talked with somebody the other day that called in on the psychic line when I was working. I know her. I know her dad. I know a lot of people around her. And she called in and said, I don't understand why the universe is punishing me. And I said, why? What's going on? Well, she's in a situation in the love department. We're not going to go into it because it doesn't matter. And it's not our business. But what she said was, I can't believe that the universe allowed me to meet this person, fall in love with this person, and this person is not available. This person, it's not right. It's not available. And I'm miserable, and he is too. And the circumstances are miserable. Why is the universe punishing us? Now, that's kind of the easy way to think about things. And no, the universe doesn't punish you like that. It doesn't work like that. But what that is, it's a sign. And if you don't heed the sign, then the lesson gets a little tougher and a little tougher. Because what I told her was, that's the same thing as saying, well, I don't understand why the universe allowed me to gain so much weight when they put that chocolate cake right on my kitchen counter and I ate the whole thing. Why does the universe want to punish me for that? All of a sudden, there's a wake-up call, right? You just kind of get this little creative whack on the side of the head and you say, oh, it's because I partake in that activity. That's why I'm struggling. It's not a punishment. It's a struggle. And it's because, pardon me, it is because that struggle is there to help you, help me, help us learn the lesson. If we aren't supposed to be in a circumstance, a situation, or even with a person, sometimes the struggle begins. Sometimes the struggle begins. And Louise, you've got a very good point. Sometimes, yes, we don't always see the signs. Or how about, yes, we choose to ignore the signs. I can't tell you in how many situations, and this goes back, if you want to go back to the playlist, you'll be able to see the first Manifestation Monday where I tell my story about my husband at that time, no longer. And pardon me, how I saw red flags constantly, but I chose to ignore them. I lost my family, I lost my income, I lost my house, I lost everything that meant anything around me. Pardon me. But yeah, see, it's weather stuff. But I just had to be with him. And then it got to the point where I wanted to just prove my point. And then it becomes the justification, excuses. Well, I've loved this person all my life. Do you want to struggle the rest of your life? If you're in a particular situation and you know it's not right, people will say, I'm confused. I'm confused. And you know what confusion really boils down to? You know the difference between the right way and the wrong way, but you just don't want to do the right way. You would prefer to go the wrong way, and it's a struggle, and you're confused as to why you can't do your own thing. When we ask for help from a higher power, I say God, you say whatever you like. When we ask for help from our Creator, you need to expect that you're going to get help. And sometimes that's the signs, because these laws of attraction came from a higher power. That's why there's little drips and dribbles in the word about being so thankful, about imagining what you want and you'll get even greater than what you have. All those little great things. And for those of you who are asking in the chat, Mercury is over as of today. Mercury retrograde is over as of today, and it's just given us this little elbow, like, oh, okay, I'll be back. I'll be back. I hope you miss me, because I'll be back. Pardon me. And hello to each and every one of you coming in. Please do me a favor and like the stream. Thank you so much. So now, what do? We have to change our personality. If we want to change our circumstances, if we want the life that we want to live, if we want to look at things the way that we should be looking at things, we have to change. We can't sit and we can't brood. We can't cry. We can't be upset 24/7 and ask why we're not getting our way, why none of this is coming to us. It's because the universe does not have the ability to discern whether you're asking for right or wrong. It's just give you what you want. And some people say, well, yeah, I've never manifested anything because my life is crap. Well, you just did. You manifested another few days of that just by saying that. So it's that convincing yourself, and that's what it is. You hear many people, well, you have to live in the end. It's very hard to live in the end when it's very hard for you to live in the present. So, how do you do that? Living in the end. Well, it's a change of outlook. It's a change of personality. It's a change because you're convincing yourself. Because you know what? That's the only person you ever have to convince. I remember it's been a few years ago. I was in a relationship and it was not so good. But he wanted money and money only. And I remember my son saying when he met him, my son said, "Well, you like my mom." And he was like, and I'm thinking, okay. So when he would think that a paycheck was coming, he would get his kids together. We would have to go out and look at trucks, and we would have to do this until one day, until one day, we went out to look at trucks. And the one son looked at me and said, "Is that okay?" And I said, "Why would you ask me?" "Well, you're the one paying for it." "Oh, I am? I'm so glad someone informed me." And I announced at that point and said, "My son comes first. If my son doesn't get a truck, nobody else is going to get a truck. And we are not married. I am not obligated." Oh, that changed the game. And that automatically, the relationship from there dissipated. Thankfully so. But Colleen, I want to address this for you for a minute, my darling. You really needed to see me today. You did not get the job. It wasn't meant to be. I want you to think about this. Maybe it wasn't meant to be right now. Okay? Maybe there was something that needed to be tweaked. Don't get down. Don't feel like this is the end all of end alls, because it's not. Maybe there was something that needed to be worked out, not on your end, but on their end. And when they do, they'll come back to you. And I also believe that sometimes when we see this, like in the beginning, okay, sometimes when we see this coming through, okay, it's meant to be, but it's all about the timing. And I also want you to know that there is also something better for you out there. Don't pull in. Don't pull in. Just know that now you know, and there's more. Because when you're manifesting, don't there's no limitations. Don't feel limited. Don't feel like, "Oh, that's the perfect job." And I know that you don't feel that way. But I want you to feel that, oh, that may be the job, right? That may be the job that I wanted, but maybe it's not the job for me right now. Maybe they'll come back. But now I know, and I know I deserve more. I know I deserve better. I need a job in which I feel challenged, and I know that they are going to pay me what I'm worth and more. And when you start thinking in that regard, that's just going to be a little, I want you to look at this as just a little thing, because this is part of life. And this is just a little thing. And you can now concentrate on something bigger and better that is just for you. And when that comes around, and I believe it'll be very soon, because we are at the end of this Mercury retrograde thing, and we've got a shadow period today and tomorrow. And then it's Wednesday. It's going to be like we're going to look back and think, what? What the heck? What did we just go through? But you do not worry. I know you're not worried. I think you're just disappointed. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you so much. You're quite welcome, Colleen. I do not want you to be, hi there. Hi, Damika. Hi, Damika. I don't want you to be so frustrated because whose loss is this really? I mean, it might be a loss to you, but whose loss really is it? It's theirs because you have a lot to bring to the table. And that's the type of attitude. And no, it's not haughty. No, haughty. Haute, haught. It's not haughty. It is not being a snarky, snotty guy or girl or whatever. It's confidence. It's knowing what you are worth. That's how this happens. And that's the personality change that comes along when you want change. That's when it happens. I want you to know something. I have gotten every job that I've ever applied for. It's not been many, because what I've done is I have created a lot of opportunity for myself. But the reason that I've done that is because I went into the jobs knowing that I am that confident, knowing that they need me more than I need them. And I was looking when I came to them. I interview well, and I learned a long time ago that I interview very, very well. I know how to write a CV. And when you go in and say, and you have an attitude of, I really don't need this job, but it would be nice to have. A change is nice to have, because you know what? We don't need anything. We want it. We want the change. And personality brings that change forward. And when you change, remember, things can form in your favor. Now, if you say, but Zelda, you just said, sometimes things will fall away for you. Yeah, that's in your favor. How many times have we had people surrounding us that have nothing but bled us dry financially? They're spiritual and energy vampires that just suck the energy right out of us. And the moment you put your foot down, just like not buying trucks, the moment that you put your foot down, the moment that you now start protecting you, cross your arms. You cross the arms, and the energy goes from shoulder to shoulder. Right, Amy, CV. I am still a resume person, but I have to say CV because I want to pretend that I am with the times. And besides, I don't need one anymore, right? But anybody who is actually in the job market, CV or resume that comes along. But protect yourself. It's time now. Because what's happening is, I don't know why, we live in a world that we just give up. We just give up our energy, our emotions, and whatever we have around us to everyone else in our lives. And we lose ourselves to the point where we have to make sure that we don't lose ourselves so much that we don't get ourselves back. How many times have I been in a group of people where someone will say, oh, I broke up with this person, and someone will chime in and say, well, welcome back. That's a wake-up call. When you have someone say to you after you've made a change, welcome back, that needs to be the wake-up call, because what have you lost and given up within yourself? You see, here, most women will use the excuse that she wants to make her partner happy. So she conforms to her partner's way of thinking. And she starts just like that movie with Richard Gere. I think it's Runaway Bride, and I can't think of her name, but she goes in, and every relationship she's ever in, she eats the eggs the way her partner wants to eat his eggs, because she wants to make an impression. And that's why we do that. And because most people, my darlings, I have to tell you this, they don't want a reflection of themselves. That's not attractive. They already know who they are. They want someone that they can get along with, but they want somebody completely not opposite, but different, because that's what keeps the spark going. It's a change in personality. It's that change today of you making sure that you are in the driver's seat. You don't need a co-pilot. You don't need a crew. You're in the driver's seat. You're going where you need to be. And at this point, my darlings, I want you to think about how much today, how much change you need. How much? If you made a change today, would someone look at you, one of your friends that's not seen you in a while, would they say, welcome back? What you want to do, my darlings, is do this. What you want to do is you want to get into the mindset where you are so in control that it almost bothers you to think that someone can come in your life and make such a change. I don't want you to be welcomed back. I want you to be the 2.0 version of yourself. I'm there. I'm there. And you are too. If you weren't, you wouldn't be here. You have to make that decision. Because see, when you make your decision that you are the most important person, because I'm going to say this, it's even biblical. We are, thank you, Julia Roberts. Thank you, D'Amica. We are so important that we are told we must take care of ourselves first before we can take care of anyone else. And how many times have we just stood at the door giving away money, groceries, life, time, energy, and in the end of the day, we have nothing left and there's nobody coming for us. I've been there, done that. Because I got sucked into that thing was, well, if you give, you get back tenfold. That's right. But you don't do that in order to get back. That's a whole nother episode. If you don't, I want you to think of it this way. You're flying on a plane and those little air masks drop. What do? They tell you to put your air mask on first and then assist the person beside you. Why? Because if you can't help yourself, you're not going to be able to help that person beside you. And especially if it's a relative or child or someone who is elderly. Because you got to stick around. They depend on you. See, we don't realize how much people depend on us and how we need to really take care of ourselves, how we need to focus on ourselves. And what do you mean by focus, Zelda? We need to pay attention. If we need to be distracted from something that is causing us harm, not participating in life, then we need to sit back and we need to think, what am I doing? I need to, and this is where writing it down becomes so important. And look, write it down. Most people say, I just don't even write. What do I write? Oh my goodness. How about starting about your life? How about starting about your day? You can say, hey, you know what? I made iced tea this morning and it was probably the best tea that I've tasted today. Because at this point, you've got to learn how to anchor your past behind you. That's why the Two of Wands in the tarot deck has a wand that is anchored to the side of the castle wall. That way you don't go back and pick it up again. Because what happens is every day we go back and we pick up this part of our past that no one knows about and we carry it with us. It's either a badge of honor or it's a badge of dishonor. That part is up to the individual. But when we do that and we pick up the past, we put it on our shoulders, holy mackerel. That now becomes our present. We're still living it. We're reliving it. And then the next thing we do is we carry it into the future. Do we really want to do that? If something is so painful that you have to pick it up and carry it with you and carry it into the future, there's something wrong. And you need to take the steps to work on nailing your past behind you, because it doesn't matter what whomever said, what whomever did, what whomever, it does not matter. That falls away. That's why the past is a past. That's why when you're manifesting, you have to have blinders and you have to just like the guy with the kids in the trucks would tell me, well, maybe if your paycheck would come along and you would show it to us, I think my family would feel so much better of me dating a person that is like you. That means psychic, medium, doing crime readings, doing internet readings, working on a psychic line, and making more money than he did, and he worked at the post office. He would say, well, then you could prove yourself. Well, first of all, I almost fell into that. About 15 seconds, I almost fell into that. And I thought, well, okay. And then I thought, wait a minute, I'm not married to this guy. I'm not planning on getting married to this guy. This guy is such a loser. He's done nothing but cheat. He's done nothing but this. I'm not planning on marrying him. And I have to prove myself to him. Wait a minute. I think it's the other way around. And when I announced, not only am I not buying trucks, but if you would even think something like that of me, perhaps you need to think about proving yourself to me. And I have to give it to those people sometimes because they think and focus on themselves so much that it becomes selfish instead of selfless. There's one thing about taking care of ourselves, but there's another thing about being pressured by someone else to stepping in and taking care of them too, because they feel it's your duty. Now, if you're in a family and you're married and there's, an arrangement, that's one thing. But you are number one. The change in personality, the sticking up for yourself, standing up for yourself and saying, you know what, this just doesn't really feel right. I think I'm going to skippity-doo-dah on down the road. I know a person right now, and if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell it, and I'm not going to mention your names, and you know I won't, because she's fine. She watches every now and then. I talked with her yesterday. She can't get over a particular guy. Now, this particular guy is okay, and he's a millionaire, but he's a doofus. I just can say that. He can't take care of himself, and he can't take care of anything else. She can't get over it because she has a fear. She has the last man on earth syndrome. That being, what if I need to go back with this guy? What if he's the last guy that is going to be out there? Hello, we live in a world with millions of people. There is a man out there for you. But the one thing that she hasn't grasped onto, because she's living in this fear of never having another relationship, so she's got to settle. And yet things are starting to not manifest for her. Things are not starting to come about. Things are starting to not be so nice. And she can't figure out why. Well, because she's got to change her mindset. These are signs. So if things aren't going well, you have to think, what am I doing? Even if you have to pick up a notebook and say, what am I doing? Don't say, what am I doing wrong? Because most people, believe me, if people can criticize, they will. That's why you have to take a look. You have to just say, what are you doing? What am I doing? I am doing this. I am doing that. And believe me, after you write it down, you go get yourself a tea, you go do something, you come back and you take a look at it and you'll say, holy mackerel, I am doing that. That doesn't fit into the routine. How do I need to change this? What do I need to do? What's going to happen? Because what you have to start doing now is thinking, if I make this change, what will happen? But many people won't make the change because they're afraid of what will happen. Just like the girl who can't get over, who's got the last man on earth syndrome. She is afraid she's going to meet somebody that's not for her. Well, hello, this is life. We are not supposed to get along with everybody. That's just the way, that's part of the lessons of the world. And we have to make a conscious decision as to what it is that we're going to be doing and how we're going to do it and what we're going to do, etc., etc., etc. Right? This is a change, and it is a very, very important change coming for you, my darlings. Why? Well, I feel it coming. I feel now that you know enough to know that you know enough. And change for the better is right around the corner. Don't be upset if people fall away from you. Don't be upset if you feel that you'll make a change, because I'm going to tell you something. And you have to be very strong in this. And even the word says, nothing happens to you that you can't handle. And you have to look at it this way, because everybody's like, oh my gosh, what if something happens and I can't handle it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And the more you have that mindset, the quicker that situation will be done and over. And we're through. Right? Right. That's how when you hear that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Well, people get upset. I'm walking. I'm not running. Well, you're not camping out either. Unless you want to just take up residency there in the shadow of death, right? And unless you just want to hang out there because it feels so good and familiar. See, that's the other thing. You've got this. But the reason that sometimes we can't make change is because we are familiar. And this is why many of us will tend to go back to the exes, the ones that we couldn't stand that we were with, not only out of fear, but out of being familiar. I heard one woman say one time, the reason I went back to my ex is because I understood where the devil came from. Wow. Because we don't like change. Because we are afraid of the future. And for all of you here and for all of you watching, I just know that you are going to embrace the future. You're going to embrace the future. See, we're here to learn lessons. We're here to learn. And Louise, I love this comment you've made. Let's talk about this for a second. It's a shame our older, experienced self can't talk to our younger selves not to be so afraid. I agree. I agree. However, I'm going to add on to that. Because if our older selves could go back and tell our younger selves, if you don't change, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. Oh, because we are not supposed to go through life trying to manipulate ourselves and others out of fear of something that will happen, or especially to avoid things. I'm going to tell you something. If my now person would go back and talk to the one that was semi-ridiculous and immature in some ways and took too many risks, that person, the younger self of Zelda, would look at me and going, what are you talking trash for? That's not going to happen anyway. So would we listen? Nah, we probably wouldn't. But we are here to experience life. Why? Well, we are here to help others. We are here to be in service of others, to help them. That's the idea of the creation, to help others get along and to learn and to help others live life. I thank you so much, Sherry D. Thank you. A special person, a special listener, person from our community needs some healing, Lady Zelda. Okay. Healing is here for, all you have to say is, okay, I want to be healed. Part of this is that many people just want to get out of something. It's not that they want to be healed. They want to get out of it. They want to walk away from it. They want to avoid it. One of the things that I had to cure myself and heal myself from back in the day when relationships were number one priority, that I wouldn't even wait for a relationship to end. I would be on my next one because I didn't want that alone time. And because I had a family member who had been married for years who looked down on me because I would show up with somebody new almost every Christmas. So, okay, hold on a minute. I don't know who she is, but you know what? This too shall pass. I have an idea that I know, and this too shall pass. Because usually it's the attacker that will prove themselves to be the real jerk or jerks. And all she has to do is take a breath, ride out the storm, and in the end, she will be the one emerging and will be in a much better place than the person that's attacking her. So back to the time when I had to be alone. I had to fall in love with myself again. I had to make a decision that the only person in the whole world that I could depend on was me. And when I did that, now it's almost the opposite. It's almost the thought I don't know if I could even think of being in a relationship again because I just love my life. And maybe someday that will happen. We don't know. But the part of this that I want you to understand is no matter what, it's all about you, my darlings. It's all about you. Sherry, is she in here? Is she in here now? Is she listening? Do you know or not? Is she not okay? We'll handle this. I mean, she's gonna be okay. She's gonna be okay. Look at this. I want to see this. Amy says, I went from living in no fear for most of my life to living in fear. And I am like, no, get back to my original fearless self. No, honey, you want to have the new and improved Amy 2.0 version that will never fall back into that part again because there was something there that made you lose that fearlessness. So when you work on the 2.0 version, you don't want to go back because there's too much that is so cool in front of you. I guarantee it. This is going to be wonderful. It's actually going to be wonderful. No, she's not here. Okay. Okay. Well, if I see her, I have a feeling I know who it is. If I see her, I'll invite her to have a little chat. So just know she'll be okay. She's going to get through. Listen, listen, listen. We've all had the attacks. Not too long ago, I had the attacks coming. And I mean, they were horrible attacks. And you know what? I held my head up high and I just put blinders on, I put earplugs in, and I didn't look for what people were saying. If I saw something, click, block, boom, done. Click, block, boom, done. Just like the other night during our live when we had somebody came in that was just being a jerk, right? No big deal. Out. Done. I guarantee I don't like attacks on people either, Sherry, and I thank you for bringing that up. But I'm going to tell you, she's going to come out of this much stronger, much better, and she's probably going to be able to say, okay, because the people, and especially the one person who stirred the pot, probably has a lot in their own life that they need to be thinking about these days. Sometimes misery loves company and people can't, they get on this pedestal where they almost feel that they're 10 feet tall and, a pew pew proof, nothing's going to harm them coming their way. It's just a thing. It's just the thing. Amy loves the 2.0 version. I love that too. I can't wait to see that, Amy. Louise says, I know how you feel, Amy. Now, now you are stronger and won't put up with the bull. Absolutely. Absolutely. Noli says, we each have to face the fire for privilege of being ourselves. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, good. Welcome. 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 Come on in, my darling. Welcome. We've got your back. We've got your back. It's not the whole world. If you're listening to this, it's not the whole world. Louise, I feel that our people, let me start over. Mercury, I feel people that our empathy can get taken advantage of. It's just such a strength. Yeah, it's a shame. Well, here's the problem too. Because I can tell you, I've been attacked from all sides, going from the position of people telling me that I'm going to be going to the hot place for what I do, telling me this, telling me that, I'm something, I need to be this, I need to be that, drawn and quartered, blah, blah. Especially, I had a post around the United States election. I posted a video. Holy moly, some of the people that came, it shocks me that people can be so cruel. But there's something that I want to share with you, and that is people like to hide behind these things. It's like they get high from it. And because they're so miserable themselves, they can't stand it. They have to be, it's almost a 24-hour job for them that they just have to impart their own ridiculousness on other people. And quite frankly, I don't have time for them. I do not have time. And neither does she. And neither do any of you that are listening that are having a hard time today. Sorry, I had to. So I want you to know this, because I'm going to wait for her to come in. But there's something else I want to talk to you about, because this is kind of fun. And let's get rid of the heavy, because you know what? This is the end of Mercury, and all those vampires are out sucking our energy and being jerks. So this is fun. I have something I want you all to test the universe. And some people are like, oh, we can test the universe. You're not testing God. You're testing the laws of attraction. I love her too. You're testing the laws of attraction. And this is what I want you to do. Ready? This is so fun. I do it all the time. That's why I manifest. I manifest constantly. Constantly. I'm going to tell you this. I have, because you all know my age, and now I'm progressing into another chapter in my life. I love it. I have been looking for a way that fits into my lifestyle that I can exercise a little bit more. Get in a little bit better shape. That's what I want to do. And I'm manifesting. Well, I had this idea, see, and guess what I did? I wrote it down. I had this idea of what I wanted. I want low impact exercise. I want to do something other than just walking in place, because quite frankly, it is not safe around these parts to be walking. I want something that I can do this. I want something that I can do that. I want something to do this. Hi, Boosie, my baby. I want something this, I want something this, I want something that. I wrote it all down. And boom, all of a sudden, I started seeing this unique thing that I knew, but I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I actually forgot about it. So I started doing a little research. And I thought, okay, because that's what you have to do. When something comes into you, you got to start doing a little bit of research. Okay. And you got to just, you got to just put it into perspective. Because when you see something, you should not say, oh, well, the universe sent that. It's mine. I'm taking it. No, we're here to do a little research. So that's what you're supposed to do. I've had the treadmills. Thank you, Noli. I love it. With 6 cats on the treadmill. Believe me. And see, that's why I can't do Pilates anymore. I can't do any of that. No floor work because if I lay on the floor, all cats would be there going, Mommy, what are you doing? Mommy, what are you doing? Meow, 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 meow. And you know, it's hard to look hot when you've got cats on you, right? Hello. So what you do, my darlings, is you research. And as I started researching, this came up on the algorithm on YouTube. I was so excited. And I thought, could this be it? Could this be it? Got so excited, got so excited, got so excited. And I actually told Marie about my mod here from Fate and Fortune. And I thought, okay, this could be it. This could be it. And then I had a consultation with somebody that I had forgot about that I scheduled. And do you know what this person told me? Well, you know what, Zelda, I've done a little bit of calculations and this, whatever. And if you want to just, spruce up a little bit, your eating is not so bad. You're not so this, but I think this would be good for you because you could sit and watch all your crime dramas. I could watch all my stuff going on and not be jarred because walking sometimes jars me. And do this and do this. And guess what? It is rebounding. It is the little mini trampoline. Now, one step further, within 48 hours of me deciding that I think that this is from me and the phone call, and this is Sam coming up to say hello, my girl. 48 hours, I thought, I don't want to invest $600, $700, $800 in a mini trampoline. What, I had these visions of me bouncing off into the next room. I mean, it's kind of funny, but I'm thinking, I didn't want to just like, hello, right? Within 48 hours, my other friend who knew nothing about this lives in another state because, I keep it still. I won't. And you know what? She texts me last night and says, you know what, Zelda, I have a little extra. And she said, I was thinking about you the other day. And what do you think about one of those rebounders? What? What? So now this is manifesting. And I will be rebounding as we're watching trials and we're doing manifestations and doing all this. And I'm learning that if you do it 10 minutes a day, it's equal to 30 minutes of running. That's what it's all about because I don't have time. That's how you manifest. You don't take the first thing out of the gate because when you're manifesting and you open that door, the floodgates are going to happen. Boom. It's just going to open the door and hello. That's how I want you to get that confident, knowing that is what you're going to be doing. Hello, my darling. How are you? I'm so glad that you are here. You are making my day, little sunshine. This is our friend, Boozy Beauty, who has a lot of good things to say. And so glad that you're here. So, and I'm glad that you found out that Manifestation Monday is rebounder. Sorry, Louise, that's right. You're in the UK. Rebounding almost means like it sounds like basketball or something, right? It's a new angled way of saying a mini trampoline. That's all it is. Now, no, I'm not going to send pictures or do a video. Okay. You are the sunshine of my life. Ooh. And I will always be around. There you go, my darling. Don't you worry a bit. Don't you worry a bit. Everything is going to work out in your favor. You watch. You watch. Because I saw a few things. Let me see here, Sherry. What does Sherry say? Easy to get sucked into the negative energy like a black hole. Perfect time to surround yourself around. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So now, this is what I want you to do. Right, Sherry? I am so glad I saw Lady Zelda was live like we both were supposed to be here. You are. You are. I mean, seriously, you both attracted this. And you know something? It was funny because last night I was thinking of Boozy myself. And I thought, in fact, I'm going to go a little further and just say, I sent my mod a message early this morning and said, that little Boozy might be going through a hard time. So we just may have to be here. I could show you the message. But yeah, it's just a thing. It's just a thing. Oh my gosh. Right? Do you remember the Thigh Master? I thought, my God, I got sucked in to every one of those infomercials back in the day. Listen, I'm going to tell you the funny story. Here we go. It used to be, now my son was very young when we lost his father unexpectedly. I was a widow very early. And he was 3, I think, 4, something like that. I was also working in the mortgage business. And I would wait until late that night to do all my paperwork. Well, I would sit in the middle of my big 4-poster bed. My son would be asleep, and I would have the infomercials on that came on after midnight. And I had my phone right beside me because I'd be sitting there going, oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Those people were the early influencers. I want you to think about this because here we are, my darlings. I want you to think about this. Influencers are there to just influence. Creators can start creating at any time. That's why we have these platforms. When we see something, and quite frankly, I'm just going to tell you, I've been on this platform since 2018. And I didn't really get recognized. I didn't want to, but I was doing it because it was a part of me, right? And so the whole thing, right? The whole thing of when this particular very high profile court case came about. And it was last year when I finally, because I'm out of state, this thing has gone worldwide, but I don't think it was that recognizable yet. Sorry. You see here, you see the person I have sitting here? I am allergic to these people. So, well, it's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was 25, 27 years ago. Thank you, though. And someday I'll tell you the story about that. So I just came on here really, and I thought, you know what? I told my boss with the psychic line, I said, listen, I'm really feeling compelled. I want to do a video based on how I feel that this one trial that this particular woman is going through. I want to do it how I know it's going to happen. And she said, go ahead, do it. It's not going to conflict of interest or anything. Go ahead and do it. Because the one thing I will tell you that I'm very cautious about is that I don't steal clients from the line. Many people do when they come on. I don't, because it just enhances things, right? So I don't steal, right? There we go, Boozy, that's right. The things we do. The things we do for love, like standing in the rain and the room. Okay, right. No songs. So I came on this platform last year and started doing my readings on this particular case. Now, there are some people that had a problem with that because I hadn't started doing it right from the beginning. First of all, I didn't know about it. And secondly, better late than never. Thirdly, if you know information, why not share it? And fourthly, there's room for everybody, whether they like us or not. I have many people that are surpassing me in subscribers, that surpass me in doing anything. I don't get invited to other creators. And you know what? I'm fine with that. A lot of people like what I do, and I like what I do too. And I don't want to get sucked into a nucleus anyway. But I'm going to say the one person that really is quite wonderful, and that is attorney Melanie Little. Because she has shouted me out so many times, and I am so grateful for that. But you don't have to be that person who starts from beginning to end, and then all of a sudden, because this happens to a lot of people, you get kind of on a pedestal and you think that you're 10 feet tall and no harm can come to you, even though harm can, and you feel that you are the end all of end all words. Gee, I sure don't want to be that way. And I sure don't want to be the way that maybe I get on here and I cut other people down. That's not, because you know what? Watch. Karma comes. It's called the karma credit system. Are you ready? Karma credit system. Buy now and pay forever. The only way that you can deal with karma is forgiveness and trying to be helpful to the person or persons you're mean to. So what you do in the meantime, and what I have done in the meantime, hold my head up high, because many people poo-poo me, right? They do. I don't care. I have a lot to offer. I don't care. They're not the only people around. I don't care. When you count the people that love you, that are worldwide, versus the people that don't really think too much about you, maybe you could count it on one hand. You have to sit back and think, okay, it's a matter of time now, Because the one thing that is, I'm going to give it to you this way. One thing that is very biblical is that we are not supposed to share ugly stories about others. Because you're inviting problems if you do that. And I'm just going to say, watch. Be a watchman. Do your thing. So if you're going through this, anyone out there, I want you to do your thing. I want you to know that so many people are behind you and they've got your back, and that this is a little thing. And before next Monday, it will be over. You continue to do someone. All right. There we go. Someone with heavy Capricornian placements. Saturn ruled, I have learned to never go out and get revenge. The universe. You know, the best revenge, my darling, is to sit back, watch, and do well. That's the best revenge. The universe, that's right. Look at this. Look at this. Joanna, the goddess, look at this. The universe has got your backs. And you know what? So do we. Karma is a real mommy. I'm serious. And to me, when you're not in a really good place, to be spouting off ain't really good. No, it's not. So I want you to know, I didn't know you were a Capricorn. My son is a Capricorn. Marie, who is the mod for Fate and Fortune, is also a Capricorn. I got to tell you, I actually love most Capricorns. And it's sometimes appalling when a Capricorn will step out of their norm and misbehave. There we go. There we go. So there we go. Fate and Fortune from Sherry. Easy to absorb the hatred around you when it seems like all is coming at you. Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard to take that kind of thing. But you know what? Look at it this way. You know you're doing something right when sometimes people come at you. You have to just plow through. You have to plow through. You know, it's so funny because I heard someone say a long time ago, they looked up in the sky and they saw the initials GP, and they thought it was their message to go preach. And it ended up being the message of go plow. And sometimes we just need to plow through things. We need to take things as they come, but know that it's temporary and it will be over just as quickly as it came. So I would not cancel. If you're going through that right now, I wouldn't cancel anything. I would just keep going. Keep going. Go plow through it. Plow through, like keep doing what you've been doing, and that much more. Get behind the plow, turn over the dirt, get behind the plow, hoe a new row is what they say, and just get on it. Just get on it. And believe me, it's going to happen. Now, all right, so we're going to go back and then we're going to say goodbye. I want you to all test the universe. Okay? I want you to test the universe today. And I want you to say, universe, I want to hear a song that I haven't heard in a long time. You know what? I've been thinking of that song, and I'll just tell you. Here's a song. Many of you may hear this. Smoke of a Distant Fire. Let's just say that. You know what, universe? I want to hear that song, Smoke of a Distant Fire, by the Townsend something band. And I will tell you, you'll hear it. Something will come up. You can be driving down the road and you can say, you know what? I haven't seen a blue VW bug in a long time. I bet I'm going to see it. And you'll see it. Now, I want you, my darlings, to think of what you want to see. Sorry, was looking at the chat. I want you to think about something that you want to see, and you'll see it. Because that's how the algorithm of the reticular activating system works. That's how the manifestation works. And you know, if you can hear a particular song, or you can see, I'm going to say today, most of you most likely will see a picture of a red bird, a cardinal. And when you see this, you know that you're on the same wavelength, that you're on the frequency and the vibration to where you're supposed to be. Sometimes we just have to turn what it is that we are doing, right? There we go. Boozy says, as a clairaudient, this happens to me quite frequently. There you go. But now you know when you're on that frequency and on that vibration. Peter Townsend Band, thank you. Thank you. That's who it is. You left me here on the way to paradise, right? Joanna says, I told the universe I wanted a tuxedo cat, went on vacation to Texas. The day I got home, there was a 3-week-old tuxedo kitten. Her name, oh, Joanna, you participated in the cat distribution system. I love it. And they heard you. Red cardinals is a spirit bird. And yes, you will see that. I love it. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, because you know I'm the cat lady. I'm the cat lady. So there you go. So we've got a lot of empaths, clairvoyants, and a lot of people that are in here. And I'm going to tell you, manifesting is raising your higher self and knowing, not believing. Believing and knowing are two different things. And today, what I want you to do, my darlings, is this. I want you to not use the phrase, I'm trying. If one thing drives me crazy are those people that know manifestation and who are master manifestors that come to me and just say, you know, I'll say, well, are you doing this and this and this? I'm trying. What that means, what trying means is you haven't really thought about it, or you haven't done it because you don't think that trying is going to work or that anything is going to work. You know, trying comes from the word trial. You know, when you click on the trial for a streaming service and you at the end you have to pay, or you can buy a pair of tires on a trial basis, meaning a short period of time. Trying is a short period of time. Trying ain't going to do it. People will say to you, try harder. Well, how do you even try to begin with? How do you try harder if you can't do it right? Hello. Trying is not doing. Doing is trying. Just like knowing is not believing. Believing means that there's some doubt. Believing means that maybe you even have to try to convince yourself. So all is well, my darlings. I hope you've learned a lot from being here today. I have. I learned what microphone that I have to use in order to get here. But I want you to know, if any of you got kicked like you were standing behind a horse yesterday, today, and maybe even tomorrow, that's the end of Mercury retrograde saying, there you go. I'm going to leave and I want you to remember me. And oh, we're going to remember. So now the only thing is, I've got a little meme, I'm going to post it. And it says, now that Mercury retrograde is over, everything is now my fault again. That's right. So I want you to know, my darlings, everything is going to work out for you. Why? Well, because you said so. Oh, how about trying that? Everything works out for me because I say so. I don't have problems manifesting anything that I want. Everything is going to work out for me because it always does. If you want a particular call or you want a particular something or other, what you say is, well, I know that they're going to call me because that'll make them feel better. I know that's going to happen because it'll make them feel better. You can manifest this like now. Manifesting is now. I've been kicked by a horse, literally, Boozy says, and I've been kicked by many, and it ain't fun. Believe me. Mic drop, Zelda. Boom. Everything always works out for you. That's why I want you to walk around today. Say, everything always works out. And you know what? The truth now will start coming out about many things. The truth comes out about many things. And especially from those who choose to attack us, who choose to be cruel and mean and influence others to do the same. Perhaps, I don't know, for whatever reason. But I want you to all know everything is going to work out. And Joanna, I love this idea. I know Karen Ree will be found not guilty. I know it too. From her lips to God's ear. There we go. There we go. So, my darlings, we've been on here chatting. I want to thank you very, very much. And I also want to invite you to check out the pinned cup in the chat. That's the product, and it is so cute. It is a Manifest with Me cup, and it is adorable. It's something that you'll probably want to have with you, and that will remind you on a daily basis, if you are a coffee drinker just like me, what will be happening. I love it. I love it. So come on over, check out the shop. Don't forget, bracelets galore. Don't forget all kinds of things. Oracle, let me see. Will you please repeat what you said about cardinals, please? Okay. Well, actually, cardinals are very beautiful and wonderful and spiritual birds. And they are the ones that can bring messages from ancestors. And they're meaner than fire. And so are blue jaybirds. But if you look at them in the bird world, who is most beautiful? The cardinals and the blue jays, right? So they can be a little. There we go. Now there, thank you, Sherry. Thank you. Now, this is merch from True Oracle. We have manifestation mugs. There are mugs for your birth sign that are so adorable, that are so cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. There we are, my darlings. Amy, I love you too, my darling. I love it. You guys are the absolute best. Blue jays are bullies. But you know what? I think maybe if I was so handsome, I might be a bully too. No, I'm just joking. But we have to think about that. It's the survival of the fittest. So why not today take on that blue jay mentality, not be a bully, but just know that you have beauty in your own right. And you keep doing what you want to do, and you just go plow. Go plow. That's it. Plow in, dig in, row another hoe, and let it be that. And then sit back and watch. Just sitting back and watch. It is what it is. Thank you so much, my darlings. Thanks for coming here. Next week will be another one. I love seeing you every week. And please do me a favor. If you're watching, please subscribe, like. Manifestation Monday is a thing, and we will keep coming back here, and we're just going to keep talking about it. So just remember, you're going to see Redbirds, Blue VW. You're going to hear the song from the Peter Townsend Band, and there you go. So now let's go hoe a row. Go plow, everybody. I love you. You be well, and I'll see you again very soon. I love it. Bye. Thank you, everybody. Love you.